Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. And today, we are doing the end of the month list, for all the first time watches that I saw in the month of June of 2024. Let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, so I just kind of speeded through all of them, through those first four or so, because there's nothing really to talk about. I didn't really get anything from them, so let's move on to, really, number 27. And really, Country Bears is the last place film, and honestly, this is just a bad movie. I remember I saw the show at Disney World in Magic Kingdom, and I didn't really like it, and I hate the movie. The whole idea is like they're a jamboree or something. The special effects on the bears just look awful, and it just doesn't really work for me, so this is one that I just do not like. Tower of Terror, I never rode the ride at Disney World, but I did see this movie, and it reminded me a lot of the horror episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but that's really it. There's not much to this movie else. Friends and Lovers is a movie that my friend recommended to me. It's not actually the one from the 90s, it's actually the one from 2024, but I couldn't find the one on Letterboxd, so I'm just pulling up this one. And it's a very sexy film, but I feel like the plot is just a little bit dumbfounded. So, yeah, it's a little bit boring. It could have had a lot more, sexiness with it. Father's Day was my Father's Day pick, if you didn't watch that live stream from earlier last week. I actually enjoyed this one. Robin Williams and Billy Crystal are fun in it. It's a pretty good film. The Wind in the Willows is a fun time. I just wish these characters were animals.
That body for me, work for me, work for me, work. That body for me.
Mission to Mars was an okay film, good cast, but could have had a better idea. Beverly Hills Cop 2, I just feel like was a disappointing sequel, and I didn't really care for it as much. Beau Is Afraid actually had a pretty good concept, but I don't know, it wasn't for me. Well, I finally saw It's a Violent Nature, and it is pretty violent. Story itself, not so much. A good live-action Christmas Loud House film, but nothing of the other sorts. The original Loud House movie, I actually was thinking this was going to be like the SpongeBob movie. It's not really like that. It has an interesting concept of because Lincoln is the only guy in the house. There's an interesting story there, but then they go to like this place to find where their ancestors came from. Like, it's a little bit of a weird film. So this movie could have had so much potential to be better because I like the show. The original Beverly Hills Cop was fun and good enough. Eddie Murphy was pretty good.
Drop that.
I feel like with Casagrandes, I actually connected with this one more because I just connect with the Casagrandes as a family more. Now, X, as the first film in this trilogy of X, Pearl, and Maxine, I thought it was a pretty good introduction. I'm excited to watch Pearl and Maxine this week.
That body for me, right? That body for me, what? That body for me, right? For me, right?
So this is a Robert Downey Jr. film where he's basically like a co-pilot or whatever. I thought it was a fun movie or whatever. It was fun. Easily the funnest film of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. As we're going into a theme park, it's pretty fun and jarring.
Get it.
Tomorrowland, the land in Magic Kingdom, is very fun, and I thought the movie was pretty solid. Edge of Tomorrow actually has a pretty good concept. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt have good chemistry, and the action is actually quite fun. Upgrade was somewhat a little bit of a better version than Venom, as you have this robotic thing kind of controlling this man, and the action's pretty violent, and I honestly really like it. It was an overall pretty good film to start the summer off.
For me, break that body for me, what?
Now, Judy was a film that I wanted to watch for a while now, and I think most of it worked, but I feel like there were a couple issues. I feel like when we were exploring about her time in making The Wizard of Oz, I kind of wish we could have explored more of that, and you also see of her pill abuse. I thought it was actually used really well, as it started when she was doing Wizard of Oz, and you saw how that led to her last year of her life, what kind of person she's become, and all that stuff. And I think that's the greatness of it. And the girl that plays Judy, she's great as Judy. I loved her in this film. So it was actually pretty great, though it is kind of messy at times, but it is still a great film.
That body for me, what? That body for me, right? That body for me, what? That body for me, right?
Now this is another one like Judy that I had a few issues with, but I would still say it's a great film. Of course, the girl that plays Whitney Houston is gorgeous, her voice is immaculate, but also I just really liked the story of this person where it takes something you don't really expect, like the parents. They're usually not the most supportive, but then they are at the end, or even the husband who comes back, like all this great stuff, and then you also see how her effect on pills, and it's like kind of shocking, and even though it's kind of realistic, and so it's like, it was just a really good film, to be honest. Now, Selena is another great biopic. I know I just have a bunch of biopics in here, but yeah, they're pretty great. Selena is, of course, is the classic. I think is personally one of my favorite biopics now that I've seen. Jennifer Lopez played great as Selena. The music in here is great, but the story is also really captivating, and it's incredibly sad once you get to the end when she eventually dies from a gunshot wound. Now, this movie actually has a lot of great stuff when it comes to the action, but it's not just a going to the future action movie where people have to stop aliens, but you have Chris Pratt in it. He has this like tie-in with his father, played by J.K. Simmons, and that really is good. The action's great, but it's also a great emotional ride. I think it's a pretty great action, futuristic war movie.
Drop that.
Now, this one I thought just was a breath of fresh air, where the comedy is great. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum are great for each other. Their chemistry is on par, as one of them teams up with the nerds, but also then the other one teams up with the popular kids, and it just gets a nice fresh film. I wish I could put it higher because I wanted to see some action, but you don't have fighting a lot in high school. But it was still a great film.
For me, right? For me, right? For me, right? that body for me, what?
It takes everything that I loved about the original film, brings it to college, and you have more laughs and a bit more action. Rocketman was a breath of fresh air, while this movie also has a great performance by Jeffrey, and I don't even know his name. What is his name? I am so sorry. Taron Egerton. Yeah, Taron Egerton. He's great as Elton John, but also just the way that the music is great, but also the way that it's like, in the way it's portrayed. And then you have like floating, and it also like doesn't like, it's not the clean story of Elton John. They dive into what he did. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's deep, and it's a masterful film for a biopic. And Akeelah and the Bee, I actually watched this film because I wanted to check it out because I kept seeing a couple of clips of it on TikTok. And this is actually a pretty great film where it's about this girl named Akeelah who is told to join the spelling bee at her school. And she ends up doing it. She ends up spelling almost all these words. But what's so great about this is you get great learning about, you get to learn about how much spelling bees are and how that can relate to people's potential in doing more than just spelling hard words and sounding them out. There's more to it with roots and what languages they come from, and also how to speak proper. And with all that, you also get great performances from a young Keke Palmer, Angela Bassett, and Lawrence Fishburne, and it is overall a great film. I definitely recommend you guys go watch it. And that is my ranking of all 31 June 2024 first time watches. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.